Whoa, Helldiver. So, you want to fight some automatons? Well, old Skull Admiral Kozvos is here to help. So maybe you're a bug player, you never tried the automatons, or maybe you're newer to the game and you found this enemy a little bit hard. Put this guide together here for you to help you out. So first up, we're going to have a little video of me going through and attacking some bases, giving you some tips. Then later on in the video, we're going to go over weapons, armor, stratagems, and enemy unit types and how to defeat them. So I'll see you guys in a little bit after you watch the video. If you want to go to a specific part of the video, I will have timestamps down below so that you can scroll forward to whatever part you feel you need the most. Alright guys, here we go. Got ourselves a little bot base. One thing to always be mindful of, take out that guy with a turret quick. If you have a scope, it's a good idea to scan and look around to see if there's any more. This guy's on the turn, so it'll light you up faster than you can say, "For democracy!" Alright, what I always like to do is throw an orbital in there. Most orbital barrages will take out a smaller base like this without much of an issue, so we'll sit back here and watch it. Yeah, there comes a bot drop. There we go. Automaton base destroyed. We're gonna run down here. Looks like we got a strategy jammer. Oh great. Strategy jammers are always a rough time. The only thing that helps, you see how we got that bot drop back there? Now when we get on the strategy jammer, we should be able to attack the base without any bot drops bothering us. Always a good thing to do. Remember to attack somewhere else first, get a bot drop to happen, then run away. Then attack the strategy jammer. Helps a lot. Great, we got a guy on a laser turret back there. Take your ass out. Now a lot of times when I take these, I don't even bother with hitting the fabricators. Just get right up in here. Get on that terminal as quick as possible. Take down any enemies that are bothering you. Alright, there we go. It's one thing you always gotta be mindful of on the robot side. Berserkers like to get up behind you. It is good to take these down though, just to stop them guys from constantly getting in on you.
Bag's empty.
Alright, take that down so no more little robots bother us. Get on your hell bomb.
Hell bomb arm.
There we go. Strategy jammer gone. Another thing, always barbed wire and landmines when you jump out. Make sure you try to avoid them. Barbed wire is not that big of an issue. Boosh! Strategy jammer dead. But the landmines are definitely a big issue. Step on them, kill you right away. What do we got going on over here? Is this a SAM site? You can find a SAM site. Always do these missions. Yeah, it sure is. What these will do for you is anytime a dropship comes, it'll freaking take it down for you. It'll also shoot them gunships down. I've seen a couple of them in the background there somewhere. There we go. Our SAM site already got one thing for us. Hopefully we'll get this other one. There it goes.
Dropping a pin.
Alright, we're gonna take out this little base. Couldn't tell where I was at. Alright, so if you have an Eagle 500, you can throw them right in between where them two bases are like that. It'll blow it up every time.
Fire in the hole!
Automaton outpost scrapped. Eagle 1 leaving combat zone to resupply.
Alright. Take that, you dirty berserker. We're gonna try to get away from these guys here, and we'll go do our objective. Alright, let's get this thing started. Ow.
Objective critical stratagem available.
Yeah, take out that dirty berserker. Jesus, not me. But you gotta worry about with your mortar sentries. All kind of stuff attacking us.
Destroy our way of life!
Yeah, you tell him, lady. Alright, we got our work cut out for us here to get these fuckers down. Hopefully the mortar will do some work. Lay down, buddy. Get in that hole. There we go. We'll call our hell bomb down right there. That should do the trick. Yeah, look at me, son of a bitch. Alright. Hopefully we don't get killed here. There we go. Hell bomb is armed. Ow. There we go. We got a couple enemies in the process.
Mission is progressing.
Alright, looks like you got a bot drop gun, but that'll be alright. Just gotta throw a big old barrage in there.
Firing orbital barrage.
Also gonna throw an eagle there. Make sure we get that one little base. Boosh! There we go.
Liberty dispense.
Oh, where are they dropping that at? Looks like they dropped them right into the base. That's good. Hopefully the barrage will keep screwing them up. Alright, them cannon towers, you definitely want to take them out. I think I got it. Oh great, robot on our butt. Alright, where are you at, fabricator?
Have a taste of democracy!
Now, when you're inside a robot base, always keep your head on a swivel. There's robots everywhere. Alright, I see our base. We're going to try to get a Eagle 500 on that. That should do the trick. Get away from these bastards, and there we go. We got ourselves a heavy automaton base. Stop running, you bastard. There's a Hulk coming for us. We'll get him here in a second. Might just let him go.
Tagging map.
Alright, what do we got here? Some kind of tiny base.
Outpost destroyed.
Yeah, just blow that up with recoilless and keep on going. Alright, so these bases here are usually pretty big on these sabotage missions. So I would advise, if you've got a sentry, especially mortars work really good for these bases. They can shoot right over the walls. Alright, everything loaded, good. You really use that 120 mil barrage, but I ain't gonna be back for 2 minutes. Do have our Eagle coming back though.
Liberty returns, locked and loaded.
You gotta watch too, though. A lot of times I have turrets facing on the inside. I don't know where that bot drop went, but I'll take it. It didn't come here.
Main objective near your position.
Feel like this is too easy. They're just out here and in here.
How about a nice cup of liver
20 minutes remaining.
I gotta watch this guy in the machine gun.
Objective critical stratagem available. Objective critical stratagem.
Got lucky there was nobody in that one. A lot of times it's a good idea to take these
prosperity!
fabricators down. Hey, thanks for opening the door for me.
Throwing grenade!
Alright, we got our SD card, get that delivered. Usually this terminal is way back here somewhere.
Get some! Get some!
Alright, I see our terminal. What are you doing, dummy? Alright, we got our barrage back. We're gonna blow up that base a while. Hopefully that'll help keep the robots off us. Where are you at, buddy? Yeah, you will get patrols just constantly showing up. There we go.
Dropping a pin.
Alright, looks like it's time for evac, so let's get the heck out of here.
Freedom triumphs over tyranny once more. The extraction shuttle awaits your request.
Alright, let's see how we did. Got 217 robots turned into scrap. Alright, Helldiver, I hope you find that video informative. So here we're going to go over our primaries and our armor. So first off here, we'll go with the primary weapon. So on my last run here, I was using this B14 adjudicator. Now you see here I got a mod to make it look like an M16, but it still functions exactly the same. Now some of the things that you're looking for in your weapon is right here, medium armor penetration. You get a weapon that has medium armor penetration. Things like Devastators, you can just shoot them anywhere you want and it will absolutely drop them quick. However, my favorite weapon for the robots is right here, the Diligence Counter Sniper. Now this bad boy, as you've seen in the video, you can shoot the enemies right in their face, drop them pretty easily. It has the range to reach out and touch them when you need to, and you can clear off those walls of... You can clear the walls of those guys in the turrets, making your job a lot easier out there. However, it's certainly not the only option. This one here too, the regular Diligence, works just fine. It only has light armor penetration, so your aim has to be a little bit better. But it does just fine killing the weaker robots. Down here for submachine guns, not a huge fan of the submachine guns in this game. If you look down here, their damage capacity isn't very good. However, the one that works okay is right here, just because it staggers the enemies. When you have like those guys with chainsaws charging you down, this one can actually work pretty well. Pair it with a ballistic shield or maybe a shield backpack and it'll work out pretty well for you. Shotguns. This slugger right here actually does surprisingly well. It has medium armor penetration. Can take down enemies fairly well like the Devastators. But the slow rate of fire sometimes can not be the best. As far as the other shotguns, really any of these here, except I wouldn't take this one, Spray and Pray. But the other ones actually do quite well. Now the thing is, you can't reach out and touch them with a shotgun, but it certainly saves your butt in close combat. Down here in the old explosive weapons, I've seen people have a lot of success with this Eruptor. If you're going to play solo, I would stay away from this, but if you play with a group of people, this one can be really, really good. And basically the same thing with the exploding crossbow. This one you can probably solo with a little bit better just because it has that explosive. But pretty much works the same as the Eruptor there. So I'm going to go over some of the energy weapons here that I think are really good. So the sickle here, this one is a really good weapon on just about any front, and it'll do you really well on the bot front as well. Doesn't have medium armor penetration, but it has a scope on it so you can aim and shoot at guys long distance. It has a nice rate of fire, so even though it doesn't have much damage, it tends to do a lot of damage just because it can fire so fast. This one here though is a real standout. Down at the bottom of the free mobilized war bond, you can get this weapon. This is the Plas 1 Scorcher. This one is armor penetration, has a nice damage potential, not much recoil, decent capacity. However, you will go through this ammo pretty quickly. The thing about this one is nice, you can take all the regular enemies on in the game with it, so it works really, really well against the robots. If you have this bad boy and you're never played robots before, I would give this one a shot. Especially if you're not very good with the sniper rifles, this one will do absolutely wonderful. Alright, let's go here to our secondary weapons. So, up here at the top, you'll see this is the basic pistol you get. This is the P19 Redeemer. I'd say once you get this one, if you don't have another weapon, this one works really, really well against the robots. It has a high rate of fire. I've had good luck with this in the past with lighting berserkers up as they're trying to run me down. You probably have to use a whole magazine to actually drop one, but that's alright. The reload rate's very fast, so it's no big deal on that. However, this is what I usually run right here, is the P13 Verdict. It has medium armor penetration, has pretty hard hitting rounds, so it does the job very well for me. That's usually my backup. Down here in the specials, this grenade pistol, if you have access to this can be very good on the bot front too. Fire it into groups of enemies, watch them all just melt. Also very good for taking down the fabricators. So if you have that, that might be an option for you as well. Let's go over grenades. Right here you see I have the thermite grenade equipped. If you're not bringing something like a recoilless rifle or other anti-tank weapon, this is the one you want to grab. These thermite grenades will take out anything. Obviously it says anti-tank, so this is your go-to when you see a tank. It also takes down cannon towers and all that stuff. The only downside is you have to get close to the thing, close enough to throw your grenade on it. Here's another grenade I really, really like, the G16 Impact. In fact, I'm going to equip that right now. This impact grenade is really, really good because it goes off as soon as it hits something. If you walk into a patrol of little robots, just chuck one or two of these in there and it'll kill just about all of them really quickly. It's also really good at taking down the striders, the regular little walkers. Throw it right at them, doesn't really matter where you hit them at, it'll kill them one shot every time. So if you have access to those ones, I'd highly recommend them. And these two up here, these two actually work just fine against the robots. They're really good against the fabricators. Takes a little bit of practice there to get them to actually kill a whole bunch of enemies. So my recommendation would be to throw them, run to where the enemies are going to be a little bit, and that way when it goes off, they'll be standing right in the middle of it. So there we go for weapons and standard throwables. Let's talk about armor here real quick. So as far as armor goes, really it's more of just a matter of personal taste, whatever you think you're going to need. Like some of these ones here, like What do we got? Like the trench paramedic here, if you have problems getting hit a lot, you can get a couple extra stims. I'm sure you guys know that. The engineering suits, you can get a couple extra throwables. If you're running thermite grenades, an engineering suit's almost a must. It'll give you an extra 2 grenades, so you have 5 to deal with tanks and other heavy units like Hawks. Down here in heavy armor, if you want to rock heavy armor, you're more than welcome to. However, the one issue I have with heavy armor is on the robots. A lot of times you'll want to go from cover to cover as you're fighting. You don't want to be standing around in one spot tanking shots. So a lot of times, in my opinion, heavy armor really doesn't serve you too well on the robot side. I would stick with medium or light. I'm a light armor guy. That's usually what I run. I got this Street Scout armor. It gives me increased reload speed and 20% ammo capacity. So that works out pretty darn well for the robots. Having lots of bullets for lots of shooting up the enemies. Alright, so let's go over stratagems here. So as far as our offensive stratagems here, this is your barrages, your eagles, all that kind of stuff. You're definitely going to want to bring at least one of these along with you. I would highly recommend that you bring either the 120 mil, 380 mil, or the walking barrage along. These are absolutely great for when you go to fight a base. You just chuck one of them in there, sit back, let it clear out a bunch of the enemies. It'll usually take down a bunch of fabricators for you too. Then you just go in and clean up the mess. Highly recommend those. As far as some other stuff, when we go to our Eagles here, 500 kg is always a standout. It can kill just about anything in the game, but only having, when you're at lower levels, you only have one use of it. I have 2 uses because I have the ship upgrade that gives me that. However, some of these other Eagles are also very good. The Eagle Airstrike here is a very, very good one for when you have groups of enemies behind you and you just don't have anything to deal with them and you want to get rid of them fast. Throw an old Eagle Airstrike on them and man, that will wipe them out pretty fast. As you see there too, it says anti-tank. It will indeed take down heavy stuff like Hawks if it hits them. But if it doesn't hit them fairly directly, you gotta do something else to kill them. Eagle Strafing Run, yeah, this one's actually really good too. It'll take out just about anything. So if you don't like bombs, basically it just swoops down and shoots them with machine guns and then wipes out anything in the area where it was targeting it at. Another one that works pretty well is the Eagle Cluster Bomb. Does exactly what it says. You can't destroy buildings, but it's efficient at clearing smaller targets. If you're having problems with swarms of robots getting on you, that one can work very, very well. We'll go over some other stratagems here that I find that work pretty well. This orbital Gatling barrage actually works quite well. Cooldown time is fairly low, so you can get it back a lot to keep using it. And then right down here we have the good old orbital laser. This is a very, very good stratagem to take for the robot side. The only issue being it only has 3 uses and the cooldown timer there is pretty slow. However, if you're having problems with a base or you just want to soften a base up before you go in there, I would usually save it for a big base. Just chuck that in there, it will absolutely wipe out everything in the base. And anything left over afterwards you can pretty easily clean up. I like to pair this sometimes with like 120 mil, throw both of them in there. And that usually does a pretty good job of wiping everything out. Alright, so let's go down here to our secondary weapons. So there's quite a few of these on here that can be very good against the robots. If you've seen the video in the beginning, you'll know that I'm a big fan of the recoilless rifle. Now the recoilless rifle is a good weapon because it can take out every single thing in the game. It has a nice range on it. All you have to do if you're shooting really far is to aim up a little bit and it'll hit your target. It one-shots tanks, it one-shots Hawks. I would say the only downside of it is it has a slow reload time. But once you get used to taking cover, you can definitely make very good use of that. If you're playing with a squad, you get your squad mates to cover you and you just make yourself the dedicated heavy guy. So right here is the FAF-14 Spear. This one too is very good at taking out heavies. It'll take out just about any heavy in the game. It seems to struggle a little bit with factory striders. It usually takes like 2 hits to kill it because you can't pinpoint certain spots as easily. However, it does work very well. The nice thing about it is if you can find yourself a hill and look down over enemy bases, you can just lock onto the fabricators and take them out one by one from safety. So it works really nice like that. ACA autocannon. Now this one's a very good jack of all trades weapon for the robots. It'll take out just about anything that you need it to. However, against like tanks and towers that shoot the big laser beams at you, it's not quite the best because you have to hit them in the back with the vent. But other than that, it'll rock anything else. Like you get a Hawk, you just gotta shoot him right in the eye. Takes a little practice to get that down, but once you do, man, you'll be a Hawk killing machine for sure. Alright, I'm gonna talk about these exosuits real quick. So I know on the bug side they can work really, really well. On the robot side though, they're just okay. Like they can do quite well against everything except for tanks and cannon towers. When you have to engage them, those big cannon shots they have can just one-shot your mech suit. So you gotta be very careful with how you position yourself. You gotta be more of like a support guy and less of a up front smashing everything guy. So just keep that in mind if you decide to take an exosuit with you. So here's a few things that you can try. If you find yourself getting hit a lot, having trouble finding cover a lot, grab yourself a shield generator pack. This thing will help you a little bit. It'll take like 4 to 6 shots before it'll disappear, and it keeps regenerating over time. So this can help keep you alive. The only issue is you can't run a backpack weapon with it. Like I use a recoilless rifle a lot, so I can't use it. But every once in a while I'll use the railgun, which we'll go into here in a little bit. In fact, let's just go over it now. So I like to use the railgun with the shield backpack because it doesn't require a backpack. This railgun is a very good gun for using against the automatons. It'll take down any devastator with one hit. Just aim anywhere and that you can get a shot. Even the shield guys, a lot of times I'll shoot them right in the shoulder and that drops them no problem. If you have a Hawk on you, if you can shoot him right dead in the eye, it'll kill him. If not, it'll take 2 or 3 shots. I believe it's 3 shots total to anywhere in the front will eventually kill him. So that could be a very good weapon as well. Plus it'll take down gunships if you can hit them in the engine. And here we are at the bottom of the list. So let's go over some Sentrys here. So there's a few Sentrys on here that can work really, really well against the robots. The 3 that I use the most are right here. The Rocket Sentry. Rocket Sentry has a decent amount of ammo. It can reach out and touch them, and it's really good at shooting out the gunships when they're flying around. Now, if you need something to get them off your back, this works quite well for that. It can also take out the heavy stuff. It'll even take out a factory strider after quite a few hits, but it's not super powerful, but it does the trick on them guys. Everything else though, it takes out in only a few rockets. Down here is our autocannon sentry. Now this is another one that's really good. The one thing about this one is you have to make sure you set it up a little bit back from where you're fighting at, or else berserkers will run up on it and just wipe it out in a little bit of time because it can't really handle itself when anything gets close to it. That being said, this one's a little stronger than the Rocket Sentry, so if you just want something with a little bit extra punch, that works quite well. Here's another sentry you may want to use is the Mortar Sentry. Very, very effective for a lot of times on the robot side, their bases are up on mountains. So if you grab one of these Mortar Sentries, it'll just sit there and lob shells into their base while you're slowly trying to work your way in. Of course, the issue with the Mortar Sentry is it's a team killer. You gotta be careful. Robots get close to you and then the mortar decides it's gonna target them particular enemies, and next thing you know, you're blown up from a mortar. I like to use it solo a lot. I don't use it all that often in multiplayer play just because of that, because a lot of people forget to pay attention to that. But other than that, that is a very good sentry for especially attacking robot bases. It's not the best for when you get caught out in the field. That's what you want one of these 2 sentries for. However, when you're attacking bases, this one can be an absolute lifesaver. Over here for our MG sentries, both of these actually work quite well against the robots. If I were you, I'd pick the MG43 over the Gatling sentry, just because it has a longer sustained fire time on use because it doesn't shoot so many bullets as once. It'll conserve its bullets a lot better, plus you have a slower cooldown time. So you'll actually, every time you need it, you'll usually have it to throw out. Now the problem with this one is it won't take out anything heavy. However, it does really, really well against light stuff and the medium stuff. Like any devastators and chainsaw guys are running around bothering you, grab this bad boy and throw it down. Next thing you know, watch them just disappear. So I would highly recommend that MG43 if you're having trouble with especially berserkers on your back. So over here we got a couple emplacements. We got the HE, we got the HMG emplacement, which is a heavy machine gun, and then we got the anti-tank emplacement. Now both of these perform about the same role. This one here is a lot better at killing like the real big stuff. It'll only take a few shots, even like factory striders. You hit them right spot, bam, they go down pretty quick. This one down here is really good for crowd control. If you're doing like a defense mission, or maybe you saved it for evac and you want to wipe out the hordes of robots that are coming after you, throw one of these down and just blast away, man. It will kill everything too. It won't kill tanks and it won't kill the cannon turrets, but it'll kill everything else. If you're worried about tanks and cannon turrets, this is the one you want to bring, is the anti-tank emplacement. Obviously it says anti-tank. This one will do you quite well against that kind of stuff. The only issue is it has a slow turning speed, so it can be hard sometimes to get it on target, but it's fast enough that you should be able to be alright. As far as landmine go, I would leave all these at home. They don't do very well on the bot fronts. Usually the robots just kind of sit there and shoot at you. They will work against the berserkers as they're trying to run for you, but robots already have plenty of landmines laying around of their own, so you're gonna have trouble dodging those as it is. So why do you want to add more mines to that mix? Just leave those ones at home. So there you go. That's my opinions on what's the best for using against robots. Alright guys, we're gonna call this the end of the tutorial. Sorry I didn't get to the robot enemy types there. Video is running a little bit too long. I'll do a separate video on them at some point. But I hope this helps you fight the robots. So get out there, turn some robots into scrap, and spread lots of democracy. And this is Skull Admiral Kothvo saying goodbye, and I hope you all have lots of fun gaming out there.